Hey everyone, good day, good day. I pray that everybody is having an awesome day. I just want to come before you real quick to continue our series, Banishing Self-Sabotage. Come on in, come on in. If you are new, wave at me, let me know where you're coming from. And even those that aren't, say hello, wave, hi, tag 3 people. Let them know that I am going live. I hope everyone is having a great day. Grab your pen, your pencil, your paper, your computer, if you don't do pen and paper like I do. And just give me your ear for a couple moments as we continue on in our series, Banishing Self-Sabotage. For those of you who don't know who I am Monique White of Triumph Services, a coaching and consulting firm where I help single professional moms replace their full-time income with a part-time side hustle so they can be at home with their kids, do what they love, and never miss a first again. I specialize in startup business consulting. And today we are going to continue our series in Banishing Self-Sabotage, and the topic for today is overthinking. Yes, overthinking. How many of you have been guilty of that? Raise your hand. Mine's up. I think everyone at some period of time in their life has been guilty of overthinking something. And while that is normal to a point, it becomes self-sabotaging when you get stuck there, when you're thinking about something too much for too long. It's that constant deliberation, thinking about things over and over on a never-ending loop. And what happens is you get stuck in this analysis paralysis. Again, taking time to look back and analyze something is good so you can learn from it and make adjustments as needed. The issue comes when you get stuck there. And the effects of that are, it causes anxiety, stress, and we talked previously while talking about the other topics of the effects of stress, the physiological effects, the psychological effects. You're not getting adequate sleep because you're replaying in your mind this constant loop of what ifs. It becomes so exhausting. And that undermines your confidence in your ability. You end up making things more complicated than they need be, which leads to a failure to make a decision. It leads to getting stuck in that one thing. You develop this perfectionist syndrome. So why do you do this? What is the root of all of this? Well, ultimately, it's a fear of the unknown. Also, the root can be low self-confidence in your own ability. The root can be past experience. You had a bad experience with it. So now you don't want to experience that again. So you get caught in this constant analyzing the situation so you don't repeat what happened before. You're so focused on that negative that you can't see the positive. And that's the problem. And that's the problem. So, I'm faith-based, so I'm always going to ask you, and I'm always going to come back to, what does the Bible say about it? Before we really get into the strategies, what does the Bible say? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you. 2 Corinthians 10:5 says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Casting down imaginations. And that's what overthinking is, isn't it? It's imagining those what ifs. If I do this, then this is going to happen. But if I do this, this is going to happen. You're in your own head. You have that inability to just cast that down and take control. Also, in 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your cares and anxieties upon him. Because what are you doing when you do all that? You're building up anxiety. And you're doing this because you have a care. You're doing this because there's a concern. You're doing this because there's a fear. And even, in the Bible, it tells us the effects of this. Proverbs 12 tells us, anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down. So this is nothing new. It's addressed in the Bible. And because it's addressed, we have strategies. We're told how to handle it. Right? Number 1, casting down imaginations and bringing into captivity every thought in obedience to Christ. Now, in order to do that, we need to first recognize it when it happens. So number 1, recognize it when it happens. Don't ignore it, because ignoring it is not going to make it go away. Recognize it, 1. 2, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. In order to cast something down, you have to acknowledge that it's there in the first instance. Recognize it, acknowledge it. Then bring it into captivity. Isn't the Bible awesome? It tells you exactly what you need to do. Bring it into captivity. Replace that negative thought with a positive one. You have control over your thoughts. When you feel yourself getting stuck in that endless loop, exert your control, your power, your authority to cast it down and bring it into captivity. Replace that negative thought with a positive one. Also, you want to always, and also, I shouldn't say always, but also, when you're taking that thought into captivity, replace that what if with a concrete thought, with a thought anchored in reality. And that may come off a little bit negative, but replace that what if, what might have happened with, okay, well, when I did this before, this happened. A concrete thought. You don't have to be stuck in that endless loop. You do not have to let overthinking sabotage your efforts to move forward, succeed, and elevate in this new season. You have the control. Always, always keep an eye on your power, your God-given authority to take control over your thoughts. I typically say to people, you control your circumstance and your circumstance doesn't control you. In this instance, I'm saying you control your thoughts and don't let your thoughts control you. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining as we continue on in this series of Banishing Self-Sabotage, so each and every one of you can be successful and can elevate in every area of your life. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Again, I am Monique White of Trying Services, a consulting and coaching firm where I help single professional moms replace their full-time income with a part-time hustle so they can be at home with their kids, do what they love, and never miss a first again. Now, does that mean that I do not work with men? No, it does not. It just means that's what I specialize in. So if you are looking to start your new business, if you are looking for startup consulting, hit that button on the page and schedule a connection call where we can discuss your goals and see if it is a good fit in the services that I can offer you. Thank you again, everyone. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you right back here as we continue on in the series